Today's Thursday, not Wednesday. I pushed back my walk a day because I wasn't feeling great yesterday. I feel a little bit better today. And I did a live yesterday for the hearing. So I know other creators are on live right now, but I'm doing this anyways. I have been looking and listening to so much footage and all the stuff that's coming out with interviews and body cams. So I wanted to talk about that on my walk. um, Wish I could check my sound. Wish there was a way to do that in here. But we'll go with it until someone can get back at me on that. It is a balmy 49 degrees today. We call it sweater weather. It is sweater weather in Northeast Ohio. Not bad though. I have a couple layers and I'll do about 2 miles of walking. It's sunny, a little breeze. I don't like the breeze. It's cold now. And we're supposed to get snow on Sunday. So I will go out and film the first snow of the year for you guys. That'll be crazy. Okay, so Idaho 4. I have been focusing on the time of night, probably between 2 and 4:30, when I'm listening to everything and watching everything. And I thought it was interesting when I was listening to Dylan, originally, and this is where I'm confused, and I swear I have gone back and listened to her latest, just the audio only, 2 or 3 times. Not straight through, but different parts, especially this part when she's talking about Kaylee and Maddie getting home. We know they got home like right before 2 o'clock, and then we found out that they were hanging out in their bedroom with the mac and cheese, but that would be 2:15. But then if you watch Dylan's interview, she says 3:15, I thought. And she also said she had a video. So maybe she did say the video was at 2:15. And I do believe Bethany also said she had a video from that time of night. So clearly they were like hanging out up there and having a good time. Another thing, when I was just listening to Dylan's audio, so hers is more fresh in my mind than Bethany. Hello, hi Tomboy, how are ya? I know Dago's on right now. I said I'm gonna do my walk real quick and then I'm gonna go over and jump on his channel so you can let him know. Is he going over the audio right now? I know he said he was gonna do it last night, and I kept checking last night to see. So I assumed maybe he's doing it now, and I've already watched it, so I'll shoot over there when I'm done. But you haven't been in there yet. Do you know, have you listened to the audio of Dylan's audio only, the 2-hour one? Hi. That's what I'm talking about. So, if they were up in Kaylee and Maddie's room like at 2 o'clock with the mac and cheese, and that's when she texted Eric Grower, the driver, and she said, yeah, we wanted more food. She did say that. Oh, okay. I was confused at this point with her. Maybe you can tell me what you heard. Because she said her video was at 2:15, but then she says she didn't go to bed till like 3:15. And something about 3:15. And I'm like, well, which one was it? And I swear I've already watched it or listened to it, I kept rewinding back to this part. I'm like, I need to understand this. So that part's a little confusing, but either way, by the time she said she went to bed, so if she's saying she went to bed at 3:15, I believe, we know Maddie and Kaylee they're taking the dog out. Um, was that at 2:30? So I just thought it was interesting that Bethany and Dylan are like around either during the time that they're texting Jack D or like right before. So you would think, I haven't heard any questions about that. Oh, from the records, from the phone records. Okay. Oh, I need to pull those up. Are those in the ISP reports? I haven't dove into those too much. I mean, I've listened to people read them. Oh my God, it's muddy here. This is where the water leak was yesterday. Okay, I will look for that. I will look for that. But anyways, I haven't heard one person ask, why were they texting Jack? Why were they calling Jack? Because they were around during that time. Um, they talk about Kaylee being in the room with them right when they get home with the mac and cheese, and then you never hear about Kaylee again until after 4 o'clock when she says she hears her run up and down the steps. But I truly do believe that was probably Xana. Motion and limine docs. Oh, okay. So the court docs. Court docs. Thank you. Thank you. I have those. I have those saved. Well, I have them all saved. I just haven't dove into the state docs yet. I've read most of the court docs. Um, so yeah, I'm just trying to imagine all of this, and here's what I think. I feel well. I used to feel. Now I feel like it's pretty factual. Everyone's converging on the house around 4 o'clock. Around 4 o'clock. The DoorDash driver shows up at 4 o'clock. There's a car driving around at 4 o'clock. There's a guy at the dumpster right before 4 o'clock, and he's walking towards the house. Those are the three people, identified or not identified, that we can see that I would think would be subject number one, 2, and 3 to dive into, like verified on video, heading towards the house, around the house, in the vicinity of a major crime. And I haven't seen anything about the dumpster guy. He could be one of the redacted names. The car, of course, I think it's Brian's, but now that we've heard Molly's interview, she saw a short, blonde-haired, clean-cut guy wearing light clothing. Let's see. You started printing all of them? Yep. Yes. I know. I was going to do that too. I like loaded up on printer ink, and now my printer works, but it's a Wi-Fi one, and I can't get it to, it won't register. It's so frustrating. Oh, let me wait till this truck goes by. Garbage truck. The garbage truck's driving by while we're talking about the dumpster. Oh, you think that's Cole Berenberg? Okay. Do you think he came out of one of those houses on the street over there? Because remember in the video, he kind of vaporizes in onto the street, or he could have gotten dropped off. I don't know. So yeah, it's pretty evident. And then I think there's other people. Oh, I forgot one. Jackass. They have video. I think we saw it. I can't remember. I know I've heard of it. I think I saw it. They said someone in dark clothing with a backpack coming out of, oh, you think it was messed with? The Jack S one? Or no, the dumpster one, because I know the dumpster one, there's times missing. Yeah, and I wanted to point that out too. The dumpster guy, right after he gets into the dumpster, clearly he's getting something out of there. A weapon. At one time, people were talking about Tomboy, did you hear anybody talk about, that little piece of paper that looked like there was, like, a map of the inside of the house or something that somebody found on the ground somewhere? Oh, the cat? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep, I know the cat you're talking about. Yep. School buses. Yeah, yeah, the guy vaporizes onto the road a couple times, I think, the dumpster guy now I'm back to, and then after he gets into the dumpster and starts walking towards the Linda Lane Apartments, I believe is where he's walking towards, um, there's a chunk of time cut out in the driveway of 1122. Yeah, that little map thing. So it could have been that. It could have just been like little piece of paper he was digging out of there. Okay, like where do I go? I don't know. But just waiting for the truck, the trash pickup guys to get out of my area. Um, so I'm thinking, so Molly, I mean, you can't tell me she shows up at this time with a DoorDash that's only got like someone's first name written in marker on it. Um, and that's not weird. And walking around like she did. She's there, dumpster guy's there, car driving around that they think's Brian, and then the jackass video of him coming out of his apartment with a black backpack, and there's a black backpack found outside the house. So that's four people right there. I think my gut feeling is there probably is other males that just didn't get caught. Maybe they came from all different directions, got dropped off different places. Who knows? But to me, that's when it popped off. They're getting there at 4. Bethany is texting Dylan at, it's either 4:17 or 4. I think it's 4:17 or 4:19. Hey, I heard a firecracker. Well, by the time like you hear it, grab your phone, send a text. That's probably around 4:15 that it happened, right? So I could just imagine like those people, they're making their way to the house. They're communicating with each other. This is all my speculation based on what I see in videos. Um, Makes total sense that if there was an invasion, a home invasion, um, that's what happened. The other thing I just don't understand how they cannot identify when Xana and Ethan got home. Couldn't you at least verify when they left Sigma Chi? They should be able to know when they left Sigma Chi. Okay, is Tomboy, is that Mowich last name? Is that the Lakin girl's last? Is that the same last name that was with Dylan watching TV? Or is it just similar? No, okay. Those names are new to me. Um, those are your choices. Yeah, I get you. I've heard of the Leonard. I know Janelle is Molly's friend, right? Is she the girl that took off in the truck and like outran the cops to get to Washington or Idaho, whichever way she did it? That was funny. She's like, "Peace out. I'm crossing the state line." Yeah. That makes sense. I just don't see. They didn't say there was any unknown female DNA. That doesn't mean that they didn't do something, you know. Could have just drove a car, waited in a car, been a lookout, helped clean, anything like that. But Xana and Ethan, they're not seen from 1 o'clock to 4:30. I don't believe they were. I just don't believe they would have been home. I think there would have been like they would have known. Xana, I could see if Xana's room was on the first floor and they were just in their room with the door shut, then it would be like completely removed away from everybody else. But her room's in the middle of the house. Dylan was hanging out in the living room. Xana's door was, according to Bethany, more than partially open. I just feel like they would have seen them. So now here's my crazy thought. So taking all that into account, I'm thinking they weren't home. If nobody can say they were home, then they weren't home. So that means they're outside somewhere. And could they have been with these people? These people could have picked them up from somewhere else? Or was this just the time they have like, was Anna like, you know, hey, I ordered a DoorDash, I got to hurry up and get home to get it. I personally, and I don't think we've heard that that order came from her phone, did we? Do we know for sure that order came from her phone? I don't think so. Yeah, a lot of people don't even think they were there. So now, and so it could be like a couple different things. Like maybe Zan and Ethan just happened to be walking home at 4 a.m. or 3:45 a.m. Hi, Brooke. How are you today? I'm loving to see those peace signs in the chat. That's so cool. I made all my like hippie little symbols for our channel. They look good on the screen, the purple and the blue. Those are my favorite colors. So, I don't know. To me, I just think if no one's going to prove that Xana and Ethan are home, then let's just assume they weren't home. But we know they get there by 4:15 when the firework goes off and the murder happens. If that's when it happens, they're in there because that's where they're found. So I'm just wondering if they entered the house or were brought into the house or were forced into the house. I don't know. Sometime 3:30 to 4:15, something like that. Just me thinking out loud. Okay, this says Ann Taylor asked Payne. Whoops. Ann Taylor asked Payne on the stand about the videos from the 2 hotels in Moscow. Payne said they were in evidence, but somehow they got lost. So are those, now would that be evidence for Friday night, or is it for cars driving by? Is it for the dance that they went to? Like, what would we be expecting that to show? Oh, I know what you're saying. If like Bethany got a room or something. Yeah, I remember hearing that. Yep. We're at the hotel. Yeah. Yeah, I heard that theory. Yep. Oh, and they don't have those videos. Hmm. Interesting. I bet if that hotel clerk at the counter, if it was the night of a murder, I'd remember who was at my hotel if they got talked to. Hey, were 2 girls in here? They would remember. They'd probably remember to this day. Someone find that hotel clerk. Oh my goodness. So another odd thing that I heard Bethany say was they were asking her about the front door code, like how many people knew the code, and then they asked her for the code, and she didn't know it at first. I'm like, what? And because she made some comment like, oh yeah, it's a pattern. That's how I remember it, and then she said like, I think that's it. And I'm like, that's your front door code. Like, I don't think that door locked. I don't think they locked it. Um, their prerogative. I'm not saying that's. I mean, it's not a safe thing. Not a safe thing to do. But I don't think it's something you need to lie about. Yeah. When you listen to that part of hers, it was it was weird. And that was the other thing I wanted to say about I when I was listening to Dylan in this audio, and I kinda like that you can't see them, you can just hear them, because it allowed me to just, like, focus on what was being said, but also how it was being said, and I'm trying so hard to give her grace and see her as, a try no matter what, um, if she wasn't involved at all, she's a traumatized victim, and I understand that. But listening to, like, how she's talking, I hear that traumatized part of it. But what she's saying gives me contradictions and questions and suspiciousness. And I just can't I can't what's the word that I want? Like mash those two together. I don't know how to feel about her, I guess is basically what I'm saying. Um like I wanted to get critical and be like, "Oh, she's talking 90 miles an hour," and I just kept saying, "Okay, maybe that's just the way she talks." Um I don't believe it was too much of, well, at least that's what I think. I'm not sure. Um It could have just been a dream. I don't know if I was dreaming or this was real. There were maybe a couple times say that, but it was for every single thing almost. Even you could tell the detective was getting sick of it too. Like, you either hear what you hear or you don't hear what you heard. Um, if you're not sure, just say, "I don't know." Don't say an answer and then go, "Oh, but I'm not. That's what I think. I think, but I'm not sure." That's like giving yourself an out. Um, and that was part of that video that I made about the interview techniques. Um, being able to tell when people that you're questioning, if they're using that kind of language, and clearly she was a lot. And I think that Detective Gooch was trying to get through it. Um, but Dylan, man, she's a hard nut to crack. She was sticking to it. Yeah, how do you not know the code to your house? So yeah, I think it makes sense that everybody converged on the house around 4 a.m. Um, I know there's those sounds of gun rack guy at Linda Lane. I don't know if that's dumpster guy himself or if he met somebody there. A car could have parked there. Um, I think it's interesting that the people who are suspecting that Dylan and Bethany left that night, um, and that black truck is on video. Um, Dylan does mention the black truck. She says once she got down to Bethany's room, she looked out the window and saw a black truck. Well, okay, so she's acknowledging the fact of a black truck being there. Um, but did they stay in the room all night or did they leave in that black truck? Is what some people are questioning. I don't know if I think that. I would need to see, like Tomboy was saying, that there's hotel video footage or something like that. So we also learned Ethan has an apartment that he like never stayed at, according to Dylan and Bethany. Neither one of them had been to it, and it sounded like it was like on the other side of campus near the 76 gas station. So that got cleared up. Yep, yep. Um, I know they were grilling Bethany about the knife that Hunter went in to get. Um, I can't remember. He made it seem like he went in the room first, saw them, went and grabbed a knife, then went back in the room the second time. I thought Dylan made it seem like he was either Dylan or Bethany, I can't remember which one it was, made it seem like they had to tell him where to go get a knife, like which drawer or something. I'm not 1000% 100% sure about that. Um, and then I'm trying to think what was some of the other information that stood out to me. Hey, Lori. Oh, Lori, so much stuff has come out. So much stuff has come out about Brian Koberger. Oh, we can talk about the DNA on the sheath. Okay. So I was showing Carlos Lana's video um, this morning about where they tested on the sheath. And this is what makes us all so, some would say conspiratorial. I would say truth seeking and curious. We had been told since we found out about the sheath and that they were doing DNA testing, we have been told that they swabbed the button snap on the inside of that button. And there was a debate for like 2 years. Was it the female part? Was it the male part? Which part did they swab? And everybody was talking about brass and how long DNA lasts on brass. And then we get the reports. They didn't swab the brass at all. They swabbed the leather part around the button, the top of the button, not even near the inside. So the one good thing is I loved whoever did that work with the bright colors. They outlined in bright purple exactly where they swabbed. And you have to look carefully at that report because the first time I listened and watched about it, I thought where they swabbed was actually on the purple line, but it's not on the line. It's in the space that she outlined. And she outlined around the button and a square. And so it's the space in between the button and the outer square edge. So like the surface, a plain surface. And that's the one they said matched or turned out to be Brian Koberger. And then I have to say, Carlos was he perked up a little bit, and Lori, you might too, if you're still listening. They show the back of the sheath with about, I don't know, a dozen tiny blood drops. And there was one that was it was still tiny, but it was substantially bigger than the others, even though it's still tiny, if that makes sense. They tested 4 of them. They tested 4 of those blood spots. And they found out that it had Maddie and Kaylee's blood mixed in it with an unknown male. And so, yeah, Carlos kind of perked up about that because I showed him, I could show him the sheath now. Like I could say, okay, look, would you test, you're trying to find a murderer. Would you test this button area that's clear, invisible, and hope that there's DNA there and choose that to make your profile and run through IgG? Or would you rather go for the blood? Right? Which one would you pick? Now, of course, Carlos said, but it's a mixture. Can you do that? Like, can you get a profile out of a mixture? So I looked that up today, and the answer is yes. Yes, you can. Is it easy? No. But you never know until you try. It could be not that difficult. It depends on there were like 3 to 5 criteria that it depended on. Like the degradation, if there's degradation of the sample, how much of a sample, the quality of the sample, things like that. But I don't even know if they tried. So I kind of got Carlos with that one. I think we're going to have a little discussion about that, but we're going to finish watching the rest of the information about it before we do. You remember hearing about the guy who was rude to Kaylee The dude that called her, yes. Yeah, the one that said, make me a sandwich, bitch. That guy? Uh, who is he? Oh, the fingernail clippings. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, so there's like, what did they say? There's male A, or no, there's DNA profile A, B, C, D, E. That's 5. So one's Brian, but there's 4 other ones. Now some of those might match each other, but I don't even think they did that. Did they? I can't remember if it was said that they matched each other or they tried to see if they were the same. I don't remember that. Page 288, the analysis on the sheath, about 3/4 of the way down, it says she swabbed a light gray transfer. Are you talking about the material that was on the sheath? We were watching that part this morning, and I think it said there was no blood on that material. There was no blood on the trace material. Or maybe it wasn't. I have to go back and look at the exact language. Maybe I don't know if it said blood or like no biological sample on there to test. Read up more. Ooh, well, they were asking on Dylan's, I think the second interview, no, like the third interview we saw of Dylan. How many have we seen now? Like 4? We saw one at the house, one at the police station, one with like state detectives or something, and then this last one that's just audio with Gooch. So we've seen like 4 of them. The third one where she was with her attorney for the first time. She said, what were we talking about? Oh, they were asking her mostly about the roommates, like characteristics, personalities, friend groups, habits, daily routines, um, tempers, family members, all that kind of stuff. And they were asking about relationships. And Dylan said that Kaylee was seeing somebody and did stay at his house a couple times. And I was listening real hard because sometimes they don't like bleep out the names right away. And I thought it was, I know that there was 2 people with that started with M, I thought, that she was seeing, like a Mitch and a something. I don't know. But this name's new. Read up to more. Okay. Oh, okay. You know there's a family connecting. Oh, of course. Of course there would be a family connection. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah. I'm almost home and then I'll jump off.